If you're a real pilot, prove it by riding my Ikran. The alien girl mocked, her wings flicking like she was daring him to die. Jack just smiled. Sure, but when I survive, you're telling me why your entire species is terrified of this thing. The crowd froze because her Ikran wasn't just wild. It was the one that even the gods refused to touch. Jack Horton had trained on half a dozen worlds, but nothing prepared him for the moment his boots hit the soil of Kurif. It felt like the planet hated him instantly. The gravity dragged at his spine, pulling him down as if testing whether he deserved to stand here at all. The air tasted metallic, like someone had mixed old copper with burning ozone, and every breath carried a faint vibration. He couldn't explain. The outpost ahead wasn't welcoming either. Spires made of dark stone curved upward like the ribs of a giant creature. Between them, alien banners fluttered in crimson winds, each marked with symbols he couldn't decipher. Soldiers of every imaginable species moved in tight formation, scaled, feathered, furred, crystalline, yet all shared the same look: hardened survivors. Jack rolled his shoulders, adjusting to the gravity. Great, he muttered. Feels like I'm wearing 3 versions of myself. He joined the line for new rivals, trying not to stare at the massive creatures circling far above the outpost walls. Their wings cut through the sky like blades, leaving trails of shimmering light. He'd seen holos of Ikrans before, but watching them up close was different. They were beautiful in a way that promised violence. A 4-eyed border officer examined his ID, each of its eyes blinking independently. Purpose of entry? I'm the new aerial instructor, Jack answered. The officer paused, its upper eyes narrowed. Human, instructor. For Ikran combat? The disbelief was not subtle. Jack forced a smile. I guess we're all having surprising days. Before the officer could argue, a sharp voice cut through the crowd. So this is the human they sent? He looks soft. Jack turned. She stood with her arms crossed, tall, winged, and glaring as if she was challenging gravity itself. Her skin held a faint glow beneath the sun, and the ridges along her forearms looked like they could cut steel. Her expression said she had already judged his entire existence. Lyra, someone whispered behind him. The best rider on the planet, and the worst person to piss off. She stepped closer, wings tightening. If Command thinks you can handle our skies, they're more delusional than I thought. Jack shrugged. Nice to meet you too. Lyra's smirk sharpened. Don't worry, you'll break before sunset. Humans always do. Jack didn't respond, but inside, a quiet fire lit. He wasn't here to break. He was here to fly. Jack didn't intend to follow Lyra, but she walked like someone who expected the world to rearrange itself around her, wings angled high, strides cutting through the dust. Curiosity tugged him forward, or maybe it was pride. Hard to tell with the gravity pressing down like an angry hand. They stopped at the edge of a wide training arena carved directly into the canyon floor. Rows of recruits gathered on stone platforms, whispering the moment they noticed him. Their armor caught the sunlight, turning the group into a shifting mosaic of scales, feathers, and polished plates. Lyra pointed toward the far end. Since you're our new instructor, let's see what you actually know, she said, instructor like it was a joke. A low rumble rolled across the arena. Jack glanced up, hand froze. An Ikran stepped out from a metal enclosure, wings half open, each membrane shimmering with faint iridescence. Its body was long and powerful, sinuous like a river that had learned to fly. Even from a distance, the creature radiated a presence that demanded caution. This one, Lyra said, her voice calmer now, belongs to my bloodline. Jack noticed she didn't say she controlled it. The Ikran's eyes locked onto Jack with an intensity that made his pulse stumble. It wasn't hostility, not yet, more like assessment. Lyra folded her arms. Touch it. If you're still alive after that, we'll continue. Jack let out a slow breath. Are you always this welcoming? Or am I getting the special tour? A faint snort escaped her. Not amusement, more like impatience. Don't stall. Prove you're not just another ground-bound tourist. He stepped into the arena. The dirt shifted under his boots, as if the planet was still deciding whether he deserved to be here. The Ikran lowered its head slightly, wings curling around its body like drawn blades. Jack raised his hands, palms open. Easy. I'm not here to fight you. For a heartbeat. The creature didn't move. Then, with a sudden roar, it lunged. Jack dropped, rolling instinctively as a gust of wind from its wings blasted over him. Pebbles rattled across the ground. Recruits shouted. Lyra did in single quotes t. She just watched. The Ikran circled him, each step measured, predatory, deliberate. It wasn't attacking blindly, it was testing his reactions. Jack stood again, heart racing. All right, he whispered, steadying himself. Round 2. Lyra tilted her head, watching him differently this time, like she'd miscalculated something important. And the Ikran moved closer. The Ikran stopped just a breath away from Jack, close enough that he could feel the heat rolling off its body. Its pupils narrowed to a thin vertical line, reflecting his own face back at him in eerie clarity. Every instinct screamed at him to move, to run, to do anything except stand still in front of a creature designed by nature to end lives. But something in its calmness rooted him to the ground. Behind him, he heard Lyra's sharp exhale. Not fear, confusion. The Ikran lowered its head, the tip of its snout brushing the dust beside Jack's boot. It inhaled slow, deep, like it was drawing in every detail of him. The world around them faded. The watching recruits seemed distant, the outpost walls a blur. Jack barely noticed he was holding his breath. A soft vibration traveled through the ground, almost like a pulse. The Ikran's wings twitched, folding tighter against its body. Its eyes shifted, intense, searching, impossible. Lyra whispered, stepping closer. It shouldn't be doing that. Jack didn't dare turn. Doing what? Lyra swallowed hard, her usual sharp tone replaced with something uneasy. Reading your breath. That's the first stage of a bond trial. Bond trial. He'd heard the term in briefings, an instinctive ritual between Ikrans and their chosen riders, but it wasn't supposed to work on humans. Humans didn't emit the chemical markers Kirith species used. At least, they weren't supposed to. The Ikran nudged closer, the side of its muzzle brushing against Jack's shoulder. The contact sent a strange warmth through his skin, like a low electric current humming beneath the surface. His pulse steadied instead of spiking. He whispered, "Hey, easy." The creature blinked slowly, lowering itself not aggressively but as if inviting him to touch the ridge between its eyes. Lyra's boots scraped the ground. "Jack, stop. If you do this wrong, it'll snap your arm before I can blink." He glanced at her. For the first time, she wasn't mocking him. She was worried. "Let me try," Jack said quietly. Before she could argue, he reached out and placed his palm gently on the Ikran's head. A low, echoing chime rang through the air, so soft he thought he imagined it. The Ikran exhaled, a warm breath washing over him. Lyra stumbled back, eyes wide. "No, no, no." That's the acceptance sound. The recruits erupted into whispers. Jack didn't understand all of it, but one thing was clear. The Ikran hadn't just accepted him, it had chosen him. The moment the Ikran accepted him, the air shifted, subtle at first, like a temperature drop before a storm. Then the ground trembled. Not violently, more like the planet had taken a breath after centuries of holding it in. Jack pulled his hand back, startled. The Ikran didn't recoil, it leaned forward, wings unfolding halfway as if shielding him. Lyra stepped between them and the recruits. "Everyone, step back, now." No one argued. Even the toughest among them seemed spooked. A low hum rolled through the canyon walls, vibrating in Jack's chest. It wasn't sound, it was resonance. The kind that traveled through stone and bone alike. The kind that felt intentional. Jack glanced up. High above the outpost, flocks of smaller sky creatures burst from the cliffs, scattering in all directions like something had frightened them. "What's happening?" he asked. Lyra didn't answer right away. Her eyes were locked on the horizon, jaw set tight. "It's the Skyvault." Something inside it just activated. Skyvault. Another word from mission briefings described as a dormant network of ancient structures, buried across the planet. No one knew what purpose they originally served. Most assumed they were ruins. No one assumed they could switch on. A deeper rumble cut through the canyon, stronger this time. Dust slipped from the ridges above, and a faint glow pulsed beneath the ground, weaving along cracks in the stone like veins waking with energy. Jack staggered slightly. The Ikran pressed its flank against him to steady him. Lyra noticed. Her expression tightened. "This isn't random. Something reacted to your bond." "That's ridiculous," Jack said, though he wasn't convinced himself. "I barely touched it." "Exactly," she shot back, and the planet still answered. Her wings lifted slightly, a sign of building stress he was beginning to recognize. A human bonding with an Ikran doesn't just break tradition, it disrupts old systems. Systems no one fully understands. Above them, a thunderous crack echoed across the sky, a fissure of blue light tearing through the clouds, like a burning scar. Every creature in the canyon, including the Ikran at Jack's side, turned toward it with instinctive fear. Lyra's voice dropped to a whisper. "That's a Guardian wake signal." Jack frowned. "Guardian of what?" She met his gaze, all sarcasm gone. "Of the Skyvault. And they don't wake unless something dangerous has returned." The ground trembled again, harder this time, and somewhere in the distance, something answered with a roar. The roar that answered the planet felt ancient, so old it carried the weight of forgotten wars. It rolled across the sky in a low, metallic vibration that made Jack's ribs tremble. Even the Ikran flinched, wings pulling tight against its body. Lyra didn't waste time. She grabbed Jack's arm hard. "We need height now." Before he could argue, she snapped an order to her Ikran in her native tongue. The creature crouched, muscles coiling. Jack barely managed to swing into position before it launched upward, kicking dust into a spiraling cloud. Air whipped past his face. The outpost shrank below them like a toy carved in stone. Jack tightened his grip instinctively. "Don't strangle it," Lyra shouted beside him, guiding her own ascent. "Use your core, let the wings do the work." He tried. The Ikran responded with surprising ease, adjusting to him, compensating for his mistakes before he made them. It felt coordinated, natural, wrongly natural. The roar came again, closer, from the distant cliffs. A shape emerged, long, metallic, and serpentine. Its body glowed with threaded veins of blue fire, each segment shifting with impossible precision. Two more followed, streaking through the air like living storms. "The Skyvault Guardians," Lyra said. Her voice held something he hadn't heard from her before: fear. "They protect the planet's core systems. If they've awakened, it means your bond triggered a global alert." Jack watched the creatures carve through the clouds. "And what do they want?" "You," she said simply. The first guardian locked onto him instantly. Its wings, if they were wings, extended in arcs of crackling light. "It dove." Jack's heart slammed into his chest. "Tell me you have a plan. Stay alive long enough for me to think of one." The guardian fired a bolt of plasma that seared past Jack's leg, close enough to scorch the saddle. The Ikran banked hard, instinctively protecting him. Lyra swooped in, cutting across the guardian's path, wings slicing the air in a warning gesture. Her Ikran released a deep, resonant cry, an ancient signal Jack felt more than heard. The guardians hesitated, their glow flickering. Lyra yelled, "Jack, sync with your Ikran. Let it guide you." "I don't know how." "Stop thinking like a pilot, think like something with wings." The guardian lunged again. Jack shut out fear, shut out logic, and reached inward, letting the bond pull him. His Ikran answered with a roar so powerful the sky vibrated. The nearest guardian faltered, its light dimming for a heartbeat. Lyra's eyes widened. "Jack, it's responding to you." Another roar echoed across the horizon, more guardians rising. Jack tightened his grip. "Then let's make them listen." As the sky filled with awakening guardians and the planet trembled beneath them, Jack realized one thing: this wasn't just a challenge, or a bond he never asked for. Kurith had chosen him for something far bigger, and with Lyra at his side, half furious, half impressed, he wasn't about to back down, because now the real test had begun, and for the first time, the sky was watching him back.